especially for Robert and Pamela, but I mean, everybody is important that we need to talk with. Okay. I to talk a lot. I hope that you guys forgive me for this, but what happened a couple of days ago, I got an email from some friend of mine in Egypt, and he's sending me a report. This report is talking about, this report was made by Al-Azhar. And Al-Azhar is not the University of Al-Azhar. Al-Azhar is the organization that, technically speaking, is the big organization, scholar organization in Middle East that handling all the Sunni situation in Islam. And when I start to read it, in fact, I don't have anything written, so you have to forgive me for this, because this would be, for me, was very important things to bring here. And since that this event here is based about what kind you have to know here, what kind of things you have to know here, you especially that you don't read and speak Arabic language, and how in the Middle East and Arab country, how they fool the Western with playing the double faith thing, that when they come to the United States, when they go to Europe, they say certain things, but in the country they say something else, different. The opposite, technically speaking. 180 degrees. So I would like to go through this with you for a couple of minutes, and after that I give Sarah to start to introduce the panel and speak about something that she planned to say in the last minute, right? Right. Okay. This is technically, this report is against the report was issued by the State Department related to freedom of religion that was issued a couple of, I think, in the middle of November. And the report starts saying, this report, after we decided to write this report to explain to the world the ignorance in the West about Islam, and why United States of America interferes in internal affairs of Egypt. And they go for about maybe 10, 12 things. I will just take a few things here without taking a lot of time. He's saying, first of all, that it's not true that in Egypt there is no freedom of religion. It's not true, and I could read it in Arabic. إنه ليس صحيحا أن مصر تقيد حرية الاعتقاد ولا الممارسات الدينية. This picture here is just occurred 15 days ago. The Egyptian regime police standing in front of a church in construction, and they stopped the construction of the church. I was talking with Robert 2 seconds ago, and I said, this picture here, it is a funny thing, because the church in the end of the picture here, and here we have a building. This building is a house. In Arabic written, Masjid al-Imam, al-Ahlam. So, we're talking about freedom of religion. A lot of you will come here and say, what's the big deal? It is really a big deal. Because based upon the Umrani and Humayuni decree, there is certain distance between any mosque and church. They could build the mosque attached to the church and nobody could say anything. But if the mosque exists, no church could be built in the same area or around this area. And this reminds me maybe 15, 20 years, no more than that, maybe 30 years ago, I went to Egypt, and my father told me a funny story. He said, any tourist to come to Egypt will see that each church is surrounded with various mosques, and he thinks that we live in harmony and everybody loves each other. It's not true. The mosque is built there just to create a problem for the Christian to pray. So, he talking about this freedom of religion, and after that he talking about the second amendment that was done was forced inside the Egyptian constitution by Mr. Sadat, and saying, now we are here to defend our 1400 years of Islam in Egypt. But what about me? That I don't know, 5,000 years there or more. Nobody talk about that, right? It's not important. But important for them, 1400 years of Islam in Egypt. Now he's talking about if the Egyptian regime forbidding that Christian could preach or evangelize Egypt, a Muslim in Egypt. And he said, no, there is a big difference between preaching. We are against American and West. That they come to our country, that the same thing they did in Iraq and Afghanistan. They have tanks, in their tanks they are Bibles. I would like to see how many tanks have Bibles in Afghanistan and Iraq. And here, number 4 is very interesting thing, talking about why is Muslim could marry a Christian or Jewish woman, but Jews and Muslim and Christian guy cannot marry a Muslim. And they coming with fantastic reason that Muslims believe in Christianity and Jews. And for this reason they could protect the woman. But since the Christian man doesn't believe in Islam, he cannot protect the Muslim woman. But one thing is very interesting here also, and this is, I take it from another piece. How can they say that they're protecting Christian and Jews when, and let me read this first. And the Islamic religion with the Prophet Muhammad saying this, let me say it in Arabic first. أموال ونساء وأبناء اليهود والنصارى غنيمة للمسلمين. What does that mean? That means is that the money, women, kids of Jews and Christians are property of Muslims once they take this place. So if Muslims come to the United States, any woman in the United States became property of Muslims, if you want. But the interesting thing also here, how he can say that they protect Christian and Muslim, and when October 9/29 is clearly saying قاتل الذين لا يؤمنون بالله وباليوم الآخر ولا يحرمون ما حرمه الله ورسوله. I think that Robert Spencer, remember, he memorized this, right? Yes. So, I mean, how can you killing, or your holy book saying kill those who don't believe in Allah and His Prophet, and after that come to tell me that you marry the Muslim, the Christian woman to protect her from who? If you are the ones that go to kill these people, who protect her from who? The report to go on and on and on, and I mean, if we would like to talk about this, we would be here for years talking about this, and I don't want to take time from anybody, because I'm supposed to be here, the listener to this professor that going to talk after me. Anyway, important thing that we need to understand in the West. I understand 100% the problem of not understand Arabic language. And no one asks you to study Arabic. But thanks God we have people like Pamela, like Robert, that they spend a lot of time and trying to let you understand what the reality of this world. I would like to say it, and maybe a lot of people will consider me crazy. We are under invasion, Islamic invasion, in the United States or in Europe. It is a new form of invasion, and nobody thinks seriously to defend this country. And I don't think that they were going to take over this country in our age. And this is my fight here for my kids, your kids, and our grandchildren. Thank you for coming and God bless you.